So the negative starts by saying same-sex partners will be deprived of immigration rights, and they use Brazil as an example. I have a quote here that says, same-sex couples are allowed to be recognized as family members in regards to immigration by Ronnie Cohen, award-winning veteran journalist with contributions to Reuters, Pacific Sun, Huffington Post, etc. December 8, 2012. The Obama administration has directed immigration officials to recognize same-sex partners as family members in deportation cases. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi said on Friday. Homeland Security Secretary Janet Napolitano told Pelosi in a letter that she had ordered U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement to notify its field offices that the interpretation of the phrase family relationships includes long-term same-sex partners. Pelosi wanted the federal recognition of gay and lesbian couples. This basically leads me to say that there's no impact to the status quo, and that it's not needed to be changed because there's obviously no significant reason to do so. In their second statement, they said legal recognition is what they want, not the principle of marriage. This just reconfirms that civil unions are adequate. Thirdly, they say that same-sex marriage has growing support. This is irrelevant because civil unions offer the same benefits, and that's ultimately what they're looking for, are the benefits of a relationship, of the government, the benefits that the government can offer for the relationship. And adding to what my partner said in her third subpoint, she said homosexual relationships are less likely to be committed in a long-term sense. So with that, added to the diminishing institution of marriage, the push to conflict church and state is not beneficial, nor is it significant. You talked about suicide in your first contention, and that was your main issue for the significance of this problem. The suicide was the biggest issue. And you said that it was unique to same-sex marriage. We said that stress and depression was what causes suicide, and my partner emphasized that. That's not going to be solved through instituting marriage into same-sex couples. There's no proof linking depression to marriage, and I have a quote saying here, talking about depression. Major depression is what causes the vast majority of suicides, by Dr. Charles Raisin, CNN Health's mental health specialist, CNN.com, December 9, 2012. The vast majority of people who choose methods of suicide that are almost guaranteed to succeed, like a gun to the head or a plunge from a high bridge, do so because they are losing the battle against major depression. These are the suicides that haunt and hurt worst of all, and that almost to a person are the most tragic. And then I have another quote from the same author talking about, and he says, talking about suicide decreases the likelihood of it happening. Dr. Charles Raisin, CNN Health's mental health specialist, December 9, 2012. Finally, it is not true that talking about suicide increases the likelihood it will happen. In fact, studies suggest the opposite. So if you have a loved one with depression who is struggling with the will to live, one of the best things you can do over and above getting them immediate health care is to check with them regularly and honestly enact if their drive to die intensifies. Basically, that leads me to say that despite the importance to prevent suicide, education and awareness are not linked to the definition of marriage in any way. By providing same-sex marriages, we basically just proved that same-sex marriage is irrelevant to suicide, and that the link between marriage and suicide is already broken. That chain of reasoning is broken. It's a trivial significance, and it's not important to changing the status quo.